Hi, this is Geeta, and thank you for joining me. So this is the first lesson in strengthening your mind, losing weight, and never needing to diet again. So today's lesson is about the one thing that trips us up always, that trips everybody up without fail when people are trying to diet. And it's the one reason why dieting is actually so terrible for you. So you go on a diet, count the number of calories, you measure your food, you pre-chew it, you only eat eggs, you only eat steak, whatever the rules of the diet are, you follow them. And you are committed and you do it, and you're committed and you do it, and you get to that one stage where life gets in the way. Because it's going to, isn't it? Your life, my life, look how busy we are. It's going to get in the way. There's going to be a time where you have to go out. There's going to be a time there's nothing in the house. There's going to be a time where something is going to trip you up. So when that thing happens, you'll find that you haven't counted that calorie. You haven't measured that food. You couldn't eat that one lone asparagus spear that you were allowed to eat. You couldn't make the weighing in that you had to do in order to stay on plan. And you fail because you couldn't do it. And you feel terrible because you've got so much hope, so much emotion, so much commitment to this thing, and you just couldn't help it, and you failed. And for a lot of people, some of that failure looks like pizza. It can look like anything. Whatever it looks like to you, you ended up doing that thing. And you ate the food you weren't supposed to. You ate 5 times more than you were supposed to. You were just hungry and thought, sod it, and just went for the whole thing. That minute there, a failure, is what stops most people going any further. It's either at the first failure, or the second failure, or by the third. They've thrown their toys out the pram and they've thought, sod it, I can't do this. I will never be able to do it. Remember that feeling? How terrible that makes you feel? The thing is, that's really a prison. That is not the right approach to going anywhere towards getting to the weight that you want to be and loving yourself. What you want to do is you want to look at the whole week like a balance sheet. Do you know what a balance sheet is? Do you know how balance sheets work? If you look at a company and if you look at how it works, it gives you a snapshot of what the company is doing over the course of a week, a month, a year. And it says, here's what the company did, and it gives it to you as an idea. And then within each balance sheet, you have an image, what they call a profit and loss account. Now in the profit and loss account, you can see this came in, this came out, this came in, this came out, and here is the number. It doesn't give you the feeling of the people that run the business. It doesn't give you the idea of what the business does. It just gives you an overview. This is how you want to treat your food and your diet with a small d over the whole of your life. Let's start with a week. For this week, what you want to do is, remember, you're creating a snapshot of the week. Now, over this week, your snapshot has to be healthy, it has to have fruit every day, it has to have green leaves, it has to have vegetables, and it has to have whatever else you're going to eat. It also should have alcohol only every other day. I don't need you to give up drinking. I want you to give up drinking every other day. So if I give you those rules, and I say, look, I would like you to get to the end of this week having followed these rules. And if I was then to say to you, that means that every day, what I would like you to do is every day I want you to follow this plan. I want you to get up and before every single meal, I want you to have one piece of ripe fruit. Ripe, like, not the yellow banana, the banana with the black dots in it. With a pear, you squeeze the top of the pear by the stalk and make sure it's soft. With an avocado, it means it's not mushy, it's a little bit firm. With pineapple, pull the leaf off the top. That'll tell you if it comes easily, a pineapple is ripe. Everything else, feel the fruit. So, for tomorrow's, the day that you're starting, the profit and loss account for that day is that every day before you eat, every meal before you eat, you will have one piece of fruit, fresh, ripe fruit, before you eat. Right. After that, twice a day, you're going to have a pile of green leaves. I don't care what they look like. I don't care which green leaves they are. It can be whatever you like. Put salt, put oil, olive oil, put lemon on them. Make them taste so that they have something to them. And then I want you to eat that. Now, after you've eaten those two things, the fruit and the salad, you can eat whatever you like. I'll just say that again. Eat the fruit, eat the salad, then you can eat whatever you like. I really don't mind what you eat. Obviously be reasonable and don't decide that you can eat everything like the 6'3" man standing next to you, because you would eat what you would normally eat. But if those are the only goals that you have today, and that is what you're meant to have done by the time you've looked at the snapshot of the week, it's much harder to fail. If you don't set yourself up to fail, you're not setting yourself up to fail, literally. So once we fail, it's very hard to come back up and to start doing it again. That's why people say go to the gym every day and don't stop. That's why they say do every, because if we can get you to make habits across the whole of a month, the habits across the whole of 28 days, you will find that you'll keep those habits apparently forever. Yes and no. What that means is if I can get you to change your mindset today and have you use that mindset tomorrow and the day after and the day after, you will then realize that the reason you're doing something is because it makes you feel better. Now, the chances of you stepping towards something that makes you feel better and stepping away from something that makes you feel bad are really high, aren't they? How many people go and put their finger in fire? None. How many people think, oh, lovely cool water on a hot day? Everyone. So this is what we want you to get to. We want you to understand that your goal is not to count calories. Your goal is not to decide that you have a restricted diet. Your goal is not to turn yourself into a prisoner. Actually, your goal is to think, it's Sunday night. Here's my whole week. What I need to do this week is I need to buy pieces of fruit and I need to buy some green leaves. And then I need to eat those, by the way. So if that's what we're looking at over the week, that's the first part of it. That's what you need to do. Okay? I think we can all manage that, but even better, these two ideas work on a principle, something called crowding out. When someone tells you not to do something, the only thing you want to do is to do that thing. So how many times what's that phrase, the pink elephant in the room? The second somebody says, don't think about this, you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's the only thing I can think about. So what we want to do is never, never, never ban anything. Instead of banning something, we want to add stuff out. Because when you add the fruit and you add the green leaves into your life, like it or not, just by the simple fact of doing those two relatively painless things, you will find that the enzymes in your mouth will start to change. The level of nutrition in your body will start to go up. You're going to be much, much more hydrated, and you're going to have fiber pulling through your system. Now, having that will create a small but subtle change every single day, and you're not even going to notice. You're just not going to notice. So that's what we need you to do. Have fruit before every meal and have green leaves after the fruit before you eat twice a day. Any green leaves. Don't put any dressing on them. Olive oil, salt, lemon, that's all you want to do.